Ladies and gentlemen, now today we have a little bit of an unexpected one. So we've just got a full champion spotlight for Wolverine Weapon X. And this man, since his debut in the game like 3 and a bit years ago, has received a full revamp. So he's a completely different champion to what he was, got a whole new list of abilities here, and also some synergies as well. Now this man is rumored to be the Legends reward for Act 6, but in this spotlight, everything is based on a fully maxed out 5-star champion. So I think it is likely, considering this has been released as well, that we might see him, I don't know if it's going to be next month or further in the future, as maybe like a super rare reward in a particular crystal, like Gold Pull for example. But I think he's going to be a very rare trophy champion, because there is stuff in his synergies that kind of makes fun of the fact that he is a trophy champion, but he also seems like he could be a really annoying defender as well, and he might have a bit of potential to be an interesting champion that you play. The revamp is certainly very curious, and it's hard to tell exactly how good this champion is going to be, but we're going to talk about some of the new features that this champion has and break down how he works. Now, to start off with the passive stuff, so he's immune to all types of regeneration rate modification except poison, so you can't Void or Human Torch or Captain America this dude, and that's important to keep in mind with his new regeneration mechanics as well. And also the potency of all bleed effects is reduced by 50%. This is okay for suicide masteries, but it's not really like enough of a reduction to make him viable for like bleed nodes or like biohazard nodes, so that doesn't seem like super effective when you are playing the champion there. But 50% is nowhere near the level of like Old Man Logan, who has 95% bleed reduction, and a Mega Red who's got 90% bleed reduction, or just bleed immunity. So again, it just doesn't really seem that good there. So then we've got the new passive mechanic as well, Rage. So Weapon X gains a rage charge every time he is struck. One of his abilities fails to trigger due to chance, or a debuff is purified off the opponent. So gaining rage charges as well as all of the Berserk rage effects are unaffected by ability accuracy reduction. At 25 rage charges, Weapon X snaps and enters a Berserk rage, lasting until his rage charges reach 0. Upon entering this rage, he goes unstoppable for 4 seconds, and as long as he's Berserk and not unstoppable, Weapon X's rage charges fall off one at a time, falling faster the longer he's been Berserk. After Weapon X's Berserk Rage ends, all of its associated effects immediately end, and Weapon X cannot gain rage charges for 20 seconds. So Wolverine Weapon X, in terms of playing this champion and being an annoying defender, it's all about him snapping and going Berserk, because when he does, he gains pretty much double attack, so 2,414 additional attack, and that's his base attack, so doubles his base attack there. Also 100% chance when struck to gain a regeneration passive, healing 100% of the hit damage taken over 5 seconds. And again, you cannot reverse that healing, but I think you can poison that healing, and you can heal block that healing as well, but you just can't petrify it. There is also a 100% chance when struck to gain a Fury passive, granting, I think this is 150% of his base attack for 5 seconds, and I think maybe when you're playing this champion, one of the tactics is take a attack for hit to get like this mega 150% attack bonus on top of the 100% attack bonus, and maybe you're gonna hit very, very hard for 5 seconds, and you can combo this potentially with like a special attack there, and you're going to regenerate all of the damage you take. And I think with the recovery mastery, you actually might be able to heal even more damage than you take. So yeah, maybe this is going to be a cool little interaction there as well. Also, during his Berserk Rage, he is immune to all stun effects, and all attacks become unblockable. Now, that is what I'm maybe a little bit worried about when it comes to fighting this champion, man. He's going to be very deadly in this Berserk Rage, because again, he's going to be healing everything he's taken unless you got heal block. He's going to be hitting insanely hard, 250% attack increase, and everything will be unblockable. So I reckon this dude on certain nodes and in certain scenarios is going to be a very annoying defender. The developer note also states that for Berserk Rage, all of these effects are binary, so as long as he has Berserk Rage, you get all of this stuff, but the second he loses it, you lose all of this stuff as well. But again, you can build it up up again. So he also has an additional mechanic there. If an attack is missed or evaded, you gain 2 rage charges, and also you go unstoppable for 1 second as well. So I think that's going to really help him, especially when enraged, because if you get struck into by like Spider-Man or an evade champion, then you're going to get that massive fury boost and heal all of the damage taken back as well. So I think that's a really cool mechanic. Also, every one of his attacks has a 50% chance to cause a fairly small bleed debuff. I think this is about 15% of his base attack as direct damage over 5 seconds. Again, this goes up a little bit with deep wounds, but it's still a very small bleed. However, if you have over 10 rage, this ability's chance to trigger increases to 100% there. So when you're enraged and your rage stacks are up, then you've got a guaranteed bleed, and this bleed can also be refreshed via the heavy attack as well. So I think it's going to stack quite nicely, man. So it serves 2 purposes: to deal damage, and also it's his primary way to build rage while attacking, as each time it fails to apply, it gives him a rage charge, so it's going to ramp him up to 10, you know, relatively quickly, considering it is on every single attack. Also, when attacked while not in Berserk Rage, there's a 50% chance when struck to gain a regeneration passive, healing 40% of the hit damage taken over 5 seconds there. This just means when you're fighting him, if you don't have a heal block champion, he's roughly going to be regenerating about 20% of the damage that he takes. So yeah, a bit annoying there, but nothing too bad outside of Berserk Rage. Also, when charging a heavy attack, if he has any rage charges, he gains a passive unstoppable for 1.5 seconds, kind of like Aegon, I guess, then goes on cooldown for 10 seconds. So this allows him, very much like Aegon, to get hit while he has that rage fury, take that hit, get the massive attack bonus, and then nuke into the opponent. So I think that's going to be quite fun to play around with there as well. And also heavy attacks, if he's below 10 rage charges, you double your current rage charges. So that's going to be an absolutely fantastic way to kind of build up your rage very quickly, and it also refreshes all of the bleed effects on the opponent as well. Now, when it comes to his special attacks, you gain +5 rage charges, but if he's at or above 15 rage charges on any special attack, he goes berserk. Now, the special attack 1 while berserk gets an additional 50% attack increase, and also has a 100% chance to inflict a bleed, dealing 100% of his base attack as direct damage over 5 seconds. And I think it says in the dev note here as well, you can refresh this one with a heavy attack. So yeah, that and berserk, man, keep refreshing it. I think it's going to be very nice as well. But if the attack doesn't hit, and this is mainly when he's a defender, he gains 5 rage charges, man. So I think he gains like 10 on the activation if you like fully dodge it. So that's going to be annoying, man. That's going to be really annoying fighting him. But yeah, we'll see how difficult this man does turn out to be. Also, the special attack 2, while berserk, each hit pauses rage fall off for 1 second, and if triggered while not berserk, you gain up to, I think this is 75% of his base attack rating based on rage. So according to the developer note, the special 2 apparently is the go-to to get most damage and prolong the berserk, but we also do have the special 3, which allows you to gain rage charges up to 25 and then go berserk, and also has a 100% chance to inflict a bleed, dealing 100% of your base attack as direct damage over 15 seconds. I'm very curious to see if the special 3 bleed and the special 1 bleed stack, and whether or not it's practical just to spam a load of heavy attacks and refresh them and keep both up, because if you could get both while berserk, maybe there's some pretty good bleed damage there, but I'm not too sure, man. We're certainly gonna have to see. I think a 5-second bleed off the special one, probably going to be a bit difficult to keep up, but a 15-second one, you know, goes up to 17.5 seconds with deep wounds. That one might not be the worst to keep up. So if this scales with the attack, you know, there might be some interesting damage output potential there. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that one. But then we have the Awakened ability. So Berserk Rage's cooldown duration decreases by 7 seconds. So again, his Berserk Rage cooldown at base is 20 seconds. So that's quite a lot of downtime when you're fighting against him, and I think it's going to be a while before in stuff like Alliance War we're going to be seeing high sig Wolverine Weapon X's knocking about. But I think if they do add him to like uncollected stuff and challenges, then yeah, it's going to be a 13-second cooldown on Berserk Rage, which has Unstoppable, Stun Immune, Unblockable. So I think a high sig Wolverine Weapon X is going to be very annoying to fight, and I think we are probably going to see them all over the place in quests coming up this year as well. But also he starts the fight with a regeneration buff, the second part of his awakened ability, granting him a regeneration of, I think this is like 15% of his base health up to, based on the number of rage charges he ended the previous fight with, up to 25. So I think for the most part that regeneration isn't going to be too bad. It'll be like a small amount at the start of every single fight, but it's alright, man. It's a nice little bonus there. But overall, I really want to play Wolverine Weapon X, man. He seems like they've made him a very, very interesting champion, but the vibe I get from Wolverine after his revamp is he seems like a bit more of a defender than a champion on offense, but I think he's going to have some alright damage output. You know, he's got some alright regeneration as well via these various forms, but I think his main use will probably be on defense for a lot of people, I would assume. But he does have some synergies as well, so he's got one with Wolverine, Old Man Logan, and X-23. All regeneration buffs grant 15% attacks. That's a really, really good one there, man. Solid chunk of attack bonus. Also, Wolverine Weapon X and Sabretooth plus 15% bleed debuff potency, so that's very nice for both champions. I think it benefits Weapon X a bit more than Sabretooth, but it's not bad for Sabretooth either. And finally, he's got Trophy Case, and this is the one that strongly hints at him being a trophy champion, with Gold Paul, Thanos, and Kang. So Wolverine Weapon X starts the fight with 5 rage charges, and Gold Paul, Thanos, and Kang start the fight with a Fury buff, granting 50% of your base attack for 15 seconds. That's quite good for Gold Paul. Gold Paul ain't too bad. Thanos and Kang, they need a lot more than that to help them out, so I don't think that's going to be, you know, absolutely insane for either one of those, but not too bad for Gold Paul there. But overall, man, I'm excited for the introduction of Wolverine Weapon X. It kind of seems like, again, he is going to be a champion that is going to be annoying us a lot in various quests and future content in comparison to a character that we're going to get our hands on and be able to play in the near future. But who knows, man, who knows? He does look a little bit interesting, so I'm excited for the debut of Wolverine Weapon X. But ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts on the brand new Wolverine in the comments section below, and if you did enjoy today's breakdown video, please do smash that like button. That'd be greatly appreciated. Aside from that, thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic day.